All right, everybody, we are back with the Integrative Health Coach Success Podcast. This is episode 256 of the show. Glad to have you here with me today because we're going to be going over a topic that we've gotten a lot of requests to speak on from our IHPs and from this podcast-based community, and that is, when should you start advertising for your coaching business? Now, again, when I say coaching, it could be integrative health practitioner, health coach, personal trainer, massage therapist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, et cetera, et cetera. Naturopathic doctor, does not matter, right? So we're talking about a service-based business. When should you start advertising? Well, there's a few things that you want to think about. There's two ways to advertise, right? There's the free word of mouth. There's the free social media posting. There's everything that's free. And then there's paid media, paid advertising. So I want to talk about it a little bit differently. Free, you should do that right away. And I'm actually going to give you a little bit different of a viewpoint in this. I actually believe that you should start so-called advertising or marketing your coaching before you're actually taking on clients, if you have that ability. Now, again, I never had that ability. A lot of people don't have that ability. But let's say you're going for a certification right now. Let's just say it's health coaching, like with IHP. What you can start to do is post on social media now. You can start to write up helpful tips. You can start to make helpful videos just with your iPhone. We have lots of shows on social media, and you can begin posting those. What does it do? It starts to build up your following slowly but surely. So then one day, right? One day when you have the ability to offer those services, you have already built up a bit of a following. Then that following will say, sure, I would love to take you up on the ability to do a free consultation to see if we're the right fit for personal training, health coaching, massage, like you name it, right? Like that's the goal. Some type of trial of some type. Free is always best if you can do that. So that's always great. Now, after that, let's say you are health coaching, you are working with people right now, you already have a business. You still want to do those things, right? So you want to do the free. When you call it advertising, you want to put yourself out there. So you want to do like networking. I've talked about creating your own group of network. So word of mouth from colleagues of yours, not clients, but colleagues. Then you want word of mouth from your current clients. And if you don't have any current clients, you're starting with like friends and family and coworkers. And then you're asking them, and I have a whole podcast on this too, for a referral, right? If you do a good job for them, a referral. And then they're bringing you people. But then you do have clients. And then you're asking those clients very nicely, especially after they've gotten results within their first few weeks, you're starting to feel a little bit better. Hey, if you know anybody, and you just give them what we've talked about before on referrals. We have all these podcasts for you at ihp.coach/podcast, ihp.coach/podcast. You can check them out right there. They're all searchable. You could literally type in referrals if you'd like. So we have that. And then we move on to saying, okay, you're always going to get your drip every single month from word of mouth, referrals. If you have an in-person space, you might get walk by traffic, right? They might see your A-frame sign or something like that, right? Okay, so all of that's good. But now it's time, if you want to expand your business, potentially, right, for paid advertising. Now, a lot of service-based businesses, we've been talking a lot about a solopreneur. You don't typically need advertising. I'm going to be honest with you. When it's ever just me in my practice, never needed. I just don't believe that you need to. Because like, think about it this way. I mean, unless you're a chiropractor seeing like 10, 20 people a day, it's a little bit different, right? Because then it's kind of a numbers game, although you might be seeing the same people each week if that's kind of part of your practice. But for the most part, if you're a personal trainer, I always taught my personal trainers, you need 17 clients. That's really it. Because 17 clients, some train once a week, some train twice, sometimes 3 times, right? On average, they train about twice. Great. So that's 34 sessions per week. And then you might have 4 people that aren't you might have 2 people that aren't able to come in, and that was 4 sessions. So now you're at 30 sessions. Well, that's still about 120 sessions a month, and you can make an amazing living and career with that. You only need 17 clients, right? So how much paid advertising you really need to do? Not a lot, right? Because you might lose a client every few months or 6 months, maybe, right? If you're doing a good job, probably not, but people still do move. They still have reasons for leaving, but you're always going to get word of mouth then. Like your current clients, you're asking them, hey, like if you know any friends, family members, etc., and they typically do, then they come and work with you. So like personal training is one of the most straightforward, do a great job for your clients, over deliver, and it's amazing. It's just an amazing career. It's great. Same with massage. Like a massage therapy-based client, you might see your best people once a week, but usually maybe it's like once every 2 weeks or once a month. But it's still not a ton of clients that you need, right? Like if you're working 30 appointments a month, then you might need like 60 clients. So it's not like a ton of clients. So what I'm sharing with you for a lot of these as a solopreneur, you may never need to do paid advertising. So I just want to share that with you. But if you're looking to grow and scale, there is a way to do it, right? Especially if you have team members and you're trying to fill them up. So this is what you want to look at. There are difficult ways to do paid advertising. There are simpler ways to do paid advertising. I am always a bigger advocate of posting on social media and connecting with like-minded people. People get worried about posting on social media. Very few people will ever have a negative comment. Like very few people ever will. And I know when you get one, it stings. I'm not saying that. But you're going to get 99 out of 100 minimum that are always positive. Because most people who don't agree with you, this is what they do. They do nothing and they just leave. Like they just leave your page. They don't post something negative on it. So you don't have to really worry about that. So what you want to do is post at least once a day on social media. And then you'll find that every like 10 to 20 posts, one of them does exceptionally well. And it just starts to connect with people. That is one that you can boost for like $5 or even just $10 a day. And you can just set it for 5 days or a week. And so the most you're going to spend is like $50 or $100. And that's it. And then what you want to do is you want to see, and again, there's an art and science to this. Are people landing on your website? Because that's what you're going to do. You're going to offer them potentially a free consultation, right? So they're going to land there and you're going to see how many people signed up to fill out that form and then got on a call with you and then signed up as a client. And was it worth it? I'm going to get to the practitioner math in just a moment. But what I want to share with you is this. Don't waste your money. Never waste your money. So even though it may only be $50 or $100 per week, think about it. Let's say it's $50. At the end of the month, that was $200. Okay, let's say you charge $200 per client, right, for a month. Like let's just say it's $190 or $200, whatever it might be. You have to understand is that if you only got one client from that, you're working for free for month one. Now, that may not be a bad thing because if you're offering a 3-month package, which is what I recommend because that's where clients are going to get the best results, then you do get paid in month 2 and month 3, and then anytime that client comes back in the future, right? So it's, yeah, you didn't get any compensation month 1 because it went towards your advertising, but you did in month 2 and month 3. So you have to be okay with that, right? And if it's for a team member, then you have to understand your math on that as well. So it's important to look at that. But if you spend $400 and you charge only $200 a month, then you don't make any money for month 1 and month 2, and then you only do in month 3. So is that okay with you? Like in the beginning, it might be totally fine if you don't have a lot of clients. So I want you to take that into consideration because a lot of people overlook that. They're like, oh, I got 3 new clients this month. That's great. But if you spend $600, then you made $0 at the end of the day in month 1. So again, understand that. Now, I don't think that may necessarily be a bad thing because in month 2 and month 3, then you have revenue. So it's something to look at. But again, I think you have to be careful and you have to really understand how the overall system works. And I'm not saying to get complicated in your accounting or your math, but I hope that example made it easy. I want to share one thing with you before everybody starts jumping in and maybe boosting some of their, Instagram or social media based posts. Really important. This is really important. Is that you have to have the whole system in place, and we have many podcasts on this too. But I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, and I just again because we have in-depth podcasts on it. So first things first, you want to be able to put something out on social media or speaking or whatever it might be. Okay, you're going to find out which one does well. And you are then going to try to get on someone else's podcast. It might cost you money, believe it or not, to be interviewed on a bigger podcast. Is it worth it? I don't know. Let's go through this. You want to put things out on social media. And we teach this in business mentorship experience in depth. But every once a month or every other week, twice a month, you'll offer client openings. And that's a post that you may be able to boost, right? Or at least put out there to your current social media following. All right. But you don't want to do any of these until you have a proper link set up in your bio, right, on social media, that links to your different services, which is typically going to be the free consultation. So if it doesn't directly link, you need to make sure that when people land on your website is, not even Web 2.0 anymore. It's like Web 3, that it's very interactive, that it's easy to use, and that it's simple. People don't want cluttered, and it needs to work on mobile. If your website does not look good on mobile, you have to invest the money. You really do, because you're just not going to get the clients. And so that's the hard part about it, is people expect a professional website. They really do. But it doesn't have to be complicated, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be what's called mobile responsive. It has to look good on someone's phone. All phones, not just an iPhone, but Android, etc. Okay. So from there, we've got our social media, let's say. We've got a little bit of a boosted post. It links to our services in our bio. Great. Comes right to our website. And then it has to be very easy to find out with buttons. Free consultation. Click here to get started. It has to be really easy. So people have to know how to get started. Great. And then how do you want people to get started? My number one thing is that they can schedule with you right away while they're motivated. So you need an online calendar. Again, not complicated, right? But you want to put your online calendar on your website or directly link to it, and then that will set up your free consultation. Or again, it might be paid, it might be whatever you're looking to do, right? But it goes right to your consultation. Great. And then you are going to have some way to deliver that consultation. And so you just have to have that software. Now, it might just be Zoom. That's okay. It might be FaceTime, but you have to keep it professional. You certainly don't want to be on your phone. You want to use your computer. So again, be careful with that. I'd be careful about giving out your personal cell phone number, those types of things. If it's business-wise, not really a big deal, but I would prefer our IHPs use iBowen, the app by Equalife. You can also use Zoom. There are other ways to do it, of course, as well. And then the last part is that you need a payment processor so that you can very easily and securely take a credit card payment, whether that be over the phone or on your website. So you need these things. That's your basic checklist before you start paid advertising. And that's why I wanted to bring you the checklist. The checklist might seem redundant for some people, but again, I don't want you to waste your money because I want you to put your best foot forward, which is why I always say start with the free advertising. Even before you take on clients, start to build up the social media following. It doesn't need to be 1,000+ people either. You can start to work with clients legitimately with a few hundred followers. Because if you look at it, if they're really engaged and you had 350 followers, well, very, very easily, you could easily have 3 to 4 clients right away when you start offering coaching services. Because when you look at that, it's literally 1%. That's it. And if 2% of all the people following you said, yeah, I really like this person, I'd like to sign up for a free consultation, it's 8 people. It's 7 to 8 people. So it's a great way to start. Check off the boxes that I just gave you. Begin maybe with some of those simple boosted posts. It literally tells you right on Instagram, if you're on there, you can just press boost, and that will allow you to put in the amount of money you want for the day. Look for the posts that are naturally getting 3 or 4 times the likes or the comments. It's a great one to start to build up maybe your following. It's not buying followers. Never do that. That is fake, and it is not going to help you because the engagement isn't there. These aren't real followers. But when you put a post out there to more people, it's there. They don't have to like it and they don't have to comment. You're just getting Instagram to show it to more people, more of your own people. That's a really important thing to do. And then from there, again, you can use the system to drive people to your website. They find out more about you. They make that connection. Maybe there's a video there or so. Oh, they learn about your services. They sign up for the free consultation. They get to see you over video where a real connection's made. And then they purchase a 1, 2, 3 month type package. I'll be following more up on that next week because I don't believe you should ever sell a single session. Definitely tune into next week's show for more on that. If you have additional questions, we are here for you. This whole point of this podcast is to make you a better practitioner, enjoy your career, do well for yourself, help a lot of people, serve the world. That's what it's all about. So we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to leave a comment. All the show notes, all the takeaways will be at Stephen Cabral. It won't be at Stephen Cabral. It'll be at ihp.coach/podcast. And today's show is at ihp.coach/256. And I'm also going to link up a link for the company that we use, the service that we use to help build websites for health coaches. If you want to check that out, if you want a website built for you, head on over to ihp.coach/256 for that web building company, or you can always just email us at any time at support@ihp.coach. Thanks, everybody. Have an amazing rest of the day. I'll talk with you next week.